If you're dealing with back taxes on your home, there is something important that I'd like to share. Number one, you are not alone. Number two, you are not out of options. More people fall behind on property taxes than is realized. And when that happens, it comes with the stress, the humiliation, the anxiety. And a lot of people quietly assume that falling behind on those taxes automatically means that they can't sell their home. But a lot of the times that's just not right. It's not accurate. But there's something most homeowners never get told. In a lot of cases, unpaid property taxes don't have to be paid up front. Instead, they get reviewed during the closing process that virtually all home sales go through, and they can be settled directly from the sale proceeds. So that means there's no scrambling to try to come up with the money. You don't have to get an advance on your paycheck. You don't have to call that old friend that owes you a favor. There's no surprise bills and no added pressure when you're already feeling overwhelmed. Now, let me be clear about something. Everybody's situation is different. You have different state and county rules and laws and regulations. The amount that's owed, how long the taxes have been overdue, whether there's new liens or other penalties, those all can change the situation. But that's why understanding your specific situation is way more helpful than just assuming the worst. But the idea that back taxes automatically prevent you from selling your home, no, that's just not true. When a property goes under contract, that title closing process is going to identify any outstanding taxes or liens. So it's going to be known. And if there's enough equity, then those amounts just get resolved at closing before the remaining proceeds are distributed. This matters a lot more than people even realize. Selling can stop those tax penalties from growing and growing and growing. That interest that pops up, it can stop that from growing and growing and accumulating. It just stops the whole situation from escalating. So instead of feeling like you can't get ahead, you finally create a stopping point. And for a lot of homeowners, back taxes don't exist just by themselves. There's deferred repairs, roofs that need to be patched, leaky pipes. There's other liens. Or there's even life events that just changed everything. People lose their job, they get sick, maybe go through divorce or just other family responsibilities that had to take priority. So if any of this sounds familiar to you, hear me out. The situation doesn't mean that you were just careless or irresponsible. It simply means you're human. Things happen. We all know that, and life just doesn't always go according to what we planned. But the good news is that there are buyers who specialize in homes with these type of challenging situations. They're not going to be your traditional retail buyers. They don't expect perfection, not going to need to go through your house several times a day, all times of the day, and they don't make you wait a long time. They understand this complex paperwork. They can work in these tight deadlines and work with all types of challenging situations. Most importantly, they can move forward without relying on banks. They don't have to sit there and wait for an approval. They don't have to sit there and show 3 tons of paperwork to the bank. They can make moves really quick. That flexibility, it makes all the difference in the world when time is of the essence. Another concern you might have is your credit. Every case is unique, but addressing your situation sooner often limits any long-term damage compared to allowing these penalties and foreclosure actions to continue. Waiting, it just doesn't improve the outcome. But understanding your options, that's where your power is. And it's not about rushing any decisions. It's not about pressure. And certainly not about giving your home away. It's about clarity. When you sell your house with back taxes, it doesn't mean any sort of failure. For a lot of homeowners, it's a way to move forward, to close out one chapter with dignity, and move forward without that constant stress every day just hanging. It's a fresh start, a clean slate, and the breathing room to focus on what comes next. You do not have to navigate this alone. If you're dealing with back taxes, liens, or foreclosure pressure, that most important step is understanding your options. What is actually possible for you? Not just leaning on what fear or assumptions have led you to believe. What's the truth? So if this reflects what you're going through, feel free, leave me a comment, or you can reach out to me privately. I can definitely help clarify your options and point you in the right direction based on your specific situation. You deserve clarity. You deserve support. And you deserve solutions, not judgment.